Welcome, curious minds. Ever think about the unsung heroes of global industry?
The ones working behind the scenes.
Exactly. Today, we're taking a deep dive into one of them, the isolation valves market. Now, these aren't exactly glamorous, are they?
Ha, no, not really, but absolutely fundamental.
Right. Keeping everything running smoothly from, oil refineries to water treatment plants, they're basically the industrial world stopcocks.
That's a great analogy. Used to shut off flow for safety, maintenance, process control, you name it.
And you might be surprised, actually, by the sheer scale and, well, the fascinating shifts we're about to uncover in this vital sector.
That's right. And our source for this deep dive is a really comprehensive analysis from Cognitive Market Research.
Okay.
It's their Isolation Valves Market Report 2025. This thing gives us a crucial look back at 2021 figures.
Got it. A baseline.
Yeah, and then projects forward to 2025 and even gives us a long-term forecast all the way out to 2033.
Wow. Good.
So it really is a detailed blueprint of where this essential market is headed globally.
Okay, let's unpack these numbers a bit. So globally, the isolation valves market, it saw sales revenue of, what, over $3 billion in 2021?
That's correct. Just over $3,072 million.
Right. But here's where it gets really interesting. It's projected to climb to nearly $3.7 billion by 2025, and then surge even further to over $5.4 billion by 2033.
Yeah, a pretty hefty climb.
That's a steady global compound annual growth rate, the CAGR, of almost 5% throughout that whole forecast period.
Exactly, 4.927% to be precise. And, that's not just a dry statistic. No, this projected growth, nearly 5% annually for over a decade, it reflects immense ongoing development, investment, really.
Investment in what specifically?
Well, it signals that industries worldwide are not just maintaining, but actively expanding and upgrading their infrastructure.
Okay.
And manufacturing capabilities, processing facilities. All of it. Understanding these trends, even in a foundational market like this, can give you a crucial edge.
How so?
Well, in seeing the bigger picture of global industrial health, where things are heading.
Right. Okay, so when we look at this expanding market, how do different parts of the world stack up? Let's kick things off with North America. Where does it sit?
Okay, North America, it holds a pretty significant chunk of this market.
Yeah.
It generated over $765 million back in 2021.
Where?
And we're looking at it reaching nearly $1.26 billion by 2033.
Why?
Which means it's growing at a steady CAGR of just over 4.2%. 4.235%, actually.
Okay, consistent growth. And within North America, I assume the U.S. is.
The U.S. predictably leads the pack.
Right. It was responsible for over $621 million in 2021.
Okay.
And it's projected to hit over $1 billion by 2033.
$1 billion just in the U.S.
With a CAGR of about 4.1%, 4.117%.
So what's driving that sustained growth in a mature economy like the U.S.? Is it just replacement or?
Well, in the U.S., a lot of it does come from ongoing modernization of existing infrastructure. That's definitely part of it.
Makes sense. But also plus investment in new energy projects, particularly, oil and gas, and also crucial water and wastewater management upgrades. That's a big one, too.
Ah, okay. And Canada and Mexico.
They're also showing healthy expansion within the region. Canada, for instance, is seeing a slightly higher growth rate, 4.9%.
Oh, interesting. Why higher?
Likely tied to its resource-heavy industries,
Wow.
oil sands, mining, etc.
Gotcha. And Mexico?
Mexico's growth is over 4.4%, 4.432%, which suggests, increasing industrial activity there as well.
Okay, that gives us a good picture of North America. Let's move across the Atlantic. How does Europe compare in this market?
Europe also shows consistent, steady gains. Similar theme, really.
Right.
The market revenue there was around $660 million in 2021.
Right.
And it's projected to reach over $1.1 billion by 2033.
Okay, so also crossing that billion mark.
Exactly. Growing steadily at just under 4.5% CAGR, 4.483%.
It's interesting, though, when you drill down into Europe, Germany, for example, being such a manufacturing powerhouse, it really stands out here, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Germany is on a very strong growth path. It's set to reach nearly $250 million by 2033.
$250 million.
Yeah, and with the highest European CAGR at just over 5.1%. 5.141%.
That really highlights their continued industrial strength, doesn't it?
It really does. Then you look at the UK and Spain, they're also showing robust growth, both around 4.8% CAGR.
Okay, so healthy investment there too.
Indicates healthy industrial investment in those economies, yes. Then you have countries like France and Italy.
Right.
solid, consistent growth there, typically around 4%. France is just under 4%, Italy just over 4.1%.
On the other end of the spectrum, I noticed Russia's number was lower.
Yeah, Russia shows the lowest CAGR in Europe in this report, just over 3.1%, 3.199%, which suggests, perhaps a different pace of industrial development or investment compared to its European counterparts, at least in this specific sector.
Okay. And there were quite a few other European countries listed too. Spain, Sweden.
Yes. Quite a few. Spain, as we mentioned, growing well at 4.8%. Sweden's also strong at nearly 4.7%. Denmark around 4.1%. Switzerland a bit lower at 3.7%. Luxembourg 3.6%.
So a bit varied across the board, but generally positive.
Generally positive, yes. And the rest of Europe category is also growing solidly at about 4.5%.
Okay. Now, you mentioned earlier that the growth story gets really compelling elsewhere. If you're looking for where the most sort of explosive growth is happening globally.
Then you have to look at Asia-Pacific.
Right.
Indeed. Asia-Pacific is the undeniable growth powerhouse in this market. No question.
How big are we talking?
Well, it dominated with nearly $1.17 billion back in 2021, already the largest region.
Yep.
And it's forecasted to skyrocket to over $2.2 billion by 2033.
Doubling almost.
Pretty much, achieving the highest regional KGR globally at just over 5.5%. 5.539%. This is really where the industrial center of gravity is. Well, it's truly shifting.
And within that massive growth, India? Wow, it shows rapid expansion with the highest KGR across the entire globe.
That's what the data shows, yes.
Yeah.
Nearly 6.6%. 6.578%.
It's huge. It's projected to more than double its market size by 2033, reaching over $280 million. What's driving that kind of intense demand? Especially compared to, say, other rapidly developing nations.
Well, India's astonishing growth is likely fueled by a really aggressive industrialization push.
Okay.
Think about initiatives like Make in India, massive infrastructure projects.
Right. The scale there is immense.
And significant investments in sectors like power generation, chemicals, and crucially, water management to support its burgeoning population and economy.
Makes sense. And China? Still the biggest player in the region.
China, as expected, is the regional leader in sheer market size, yes. Yeah. Projected to reach over $765 million by 2033.
Okay.
And still with a very solid 5.7% CAGR. So strong growth there, too.
And you mentioned Southeast Asia as well.
Yes, Southeast Asia as a whole is another major hotspot, collectively showing a very strong 6.16% CAGR.
Wow, even higher than China's overall growth.
As a collective region, yes. This area, including countries like Singapore, which itself has a 5.8% CAGR, is just undergoing rapid industrial expansion.
Okay. What about more developed economies in APAC, like Japan?
Even Japan, a more mature economy, is seeing robust growth. Nearly 4.8%, 4.835% CAGR.
Still quite high.
Demonstrates continued industrial activity and, importantly, upgrades to existing facilities. Taiwan's also strong at 5.2%, South Korea at nearly 4.8%, Australia a bit lower at 4.3%.
So really broad-based strength across Asia-Pacific.
Absolutely. It's the key growth engine for this market.
Okay, let's shift our lens again. South America, you mentioned dynamic growth there too.
That's right. Another region showing dynamic growth, particularly in some key economies.
What are the overall numbers?
The South American market for isolation valves was around $181 million in 2021.
Okay.
And it's projected to reach over $335 million by 2033.
So nearly doubling as well.
Yes, advancing at a healthy 5.2% CAGR overall, 5.235%.
Argentina is a standout here in the data, with a strong 5.7% CAGR.
It is, projected to reach nearly $68 million by 2033.
Interesting. And Brazil? As the regional economic leader.
Brazil is also a significant contributor, yes. Set to reach over $124 million by 2033 with a solid 5.1% CAGR.
So what does this point to? Just general development?
It points to ongoing industrial development, yes, but also significant resource extraction projects across the continent, mining, oil, and gas, that drives demand for these valves. Chile also shows strong growth at nearly 5.5%. Peru, just over 5%. Colombia, a bit lower at 4.7%.
Okay, got it. Moving on to the Middle East. Consistent and robust expansion, very much tied to its core industries.
Right. The market recorded almost $158.6 million in 2021.
Correct. And it's expected to hit nearly $289 million by 2033.
Okay.
Growing at just over 5.1% CAGR, 5.107%.
And within the Middle East, the The UAE and Turkey seem to be leading the charge here rate-wise.
They are, both advancing with key GRs over 5.4%. The UAE is actually highest at almost 5.7%.
Which points to significant infrastructure and industrial investment in those nations, beyond just oil and gas, potentially.
And Saudi Arabia, still a major player.
Absolutely. Saudi Arabia is also a major player, as you expect, given its energy sector. A 5.2% CAGR there. Qatar is solid too, around 4.9%. Egypt around 4.7%.
So what's the main driver for this strong growth in the Middle East overall?
It's heavily influenced by large-scale energy projects, definitely oil, gas, petrochemicals, that's the backbone.
Sure.
But also diversification efforts into new industrial sectors and significant infrastructure development, including water desalination plants.
Ah, yes, critical for the region.
Absolutely vital. And those require a lot of valves.
Right. Okay, finally, let's bring it home to Africa, also demonstrating promising growth.
Yes, Africa's isolation valves market, while smaller overall, shows promising growth opportunities.
What are the numbers there?
It recorded almost $140 million in 2021.
Okay.
Growing to over $250 million by 2033, so advancing at a respectable 4.6% CAGR overall.
And within Africa, South Africa seems to be leading.
South Africa, yes, is leading the way on the continent, according to this data, showing a 5.2% CAGR, the highest in Africa, projected to reach nearly $100 million by 2033.
Okay. And Nigeria?
Nigeria is also a significant market, reflecting its ongoing development, a solid 4.8% CAGR there. The rest of Africa category grows a bit slower, around 4%.
So potential there, definitely.
Definitely potential across the continent as industrialization and infrastructure projects continue.
Okay, wow. That's a lot of numbers, a lot of regions.
Yeah.
So let's try and synthesize this. What does this all mean for you, the listener, in summary?
Well, in summary, we've seen the global isolation valves market is growing steadily, consistently, nearly 5% CAGR worldwide.
Right, reflecting that consistent global industrial expansion and upkeep.
Absolutely. And while North America and Europe provide those consistent, mature gains.
Steady eddies, almost.
Kind of, yeah. But the Asia-Pacific region really emerges as the undeniable growth powerhouse.
No question. Especially driven by industrial giants like India and China, but also...
And rapidly developing Southeast Asia. Yeah. That whole region is booming.
And we also saw South America, the Middle East, and Africa presenting significant and promising opportunities.
Exactly. Promising opportunities for future investment and development in this fundamental sector.
This deep dive really reveals how these seemingly niche markets, like isolation valves, they're actually vital indicators, often unseen, perhaps.
Very often unseen. Vital indicators of global industrial health and economic development patterns.
So knowing this, how might understanding these trends, trends in a fundamental sector like isolation valves, how might that help you track or maybe anticipate broader shifts?
Well, it could help you track shifts in the global economy, or even within specific industries you're already familiar with. It connects the dots.
It really makes you think, doesn't it, about all the intricate, critical infrastructure that's just silently driving our world every day.
Absolutely. The hidden plumbing of modern industry.
A great way to put it. Lots to think about there.